Howdy toddy.
Oh, that was low energy on that one, dude.
God almighty. This is the Sweat Equity Podcast. Well, I was trying to time it out with us going live and us hitting this.
Out. I
like 90s rap to open the show. I like that.
I do
Why don't
too.
you, we are on Facebook Live right now. Why don't you scoot that way a little bit closer so you don't look like
Teeny tiny like I usually do.
like like
For some reason.
emaciated.
You
like,
look like you're twice the size of me.
well, my head is always going to be big,
Well,
but
that-
we
yeah.
can kind of figure that out. Let's do a little.
I'll hulk up.
What did we do? What did we do last time? Did we do fresh books?
Fresh books.
Look, Sweat Equity Podcast. We have sponsors. Help us just by clicking on it. Even if you already have accounting software, it helps. It helps the team.
Yeah,
As a
just
team.
help us.
Look, we've got about 1,000 listeners, but the listeners we have are high quality. I tell people that.
Mm-hmm.
Think about being in a room with 1,000 people talking to them about what we're going over. This is going to be a mini episode because I'm up against it for a meeting at 1, unless Eric wants to roll solo after I leave.
Oh, yeah.
But fresh books, you need accounting software, you need invoicing, you need automated things. I'm kind of sick of QuickBooks. We're going to migrate over to FreshBooks, and our listeners get a 30-day free trial if you go to GoFreshBooks/sweat.
Sweat.
Go GoFreshBooks.com/sweat. You don't say / anymore because that's not cool. That's not cool in the podcasting ad read game.
Yeah. Well, the backslash is for the programming.
That's true.
Beep, boop, beep, boop.
But you don't say /. You just say /. So go freshbooks.com/sweat. Like Keith Sweat.
Like butt sweat.
Okay. Like butt sweat. Keeping it mature.
Yep.
I like it. So we wanted to get an episode in. We didn't last week. We're going to throw a bonus episode in. As always, if you like the podcast, share it with a friend.
Yeah.
You gotta
Subscribe.
subscribe,
Rate,
all that
comment,
stuff.
All that shit.
Yeah. But I think we need to get a Facebook group going from the page because you can have a lot more engagement of people asking questions. I want that. I want people to ask questions. I eventually want us to have it where we do some live episodes, people in real time ask us some questions.
Yeah. I don't want to be the stupid one anymore. Most of the time, you just don't tell me what we're doing, and then I come in here and ask all the stupid
It's
questions.
improv, baby.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, improv everywhere. You have to. You have to always be ready, man.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah.
here.
No, you're getting it. I mean,
But,
it takes reps.
ask us some questions so that I don't look so stupid all the time.
So I would say, we just took Asher Strategies. We were behooved to take a personality test. What is it? Advanced Personality Questionnaire. I'm guessing a lot of people have actually taken this. The more I thought about it, the more I realized this is a pretty popular test.
Yeah. Well, we just haven't had a real job in a long time. Well,
Right.
I mean, like
a
starting
corporate,
a new job.
yeah,
where
like a
they do
huge
this,
corporate job, yeah.
Because it's not cheap. You got to pay for it.
Well, it's $150 a person, which is expensive for a lot of small, medium business out there. But my thing, I like this kind of stuff because I think we do it with our branding guide. We try to figure out what the client wants without they don't know how to articulate it, right?
Right.
And so to me, it's the same thing. We in our branding questionnaire, we ask if your company was an animal, what animal it would be? And some of those are red herrings as questions. Some of those are just are to triangulate what they can't articulate.
Yeah.
We can't articulate maybe our personality a lot because it takes a lot of effort, I think, to figure out who you are.
Yeah, and most people don't want to know who they are.
Well, or I think we
Or
both
don't care to know.
We both have more of that comedian brain where you're kind of always thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then it becomes too much analysis of yourself, which
And then
is
you're just hard on
narcissistic,
yourself.
but
Yeah.
you're hard on yourself. So why don't you read your stuff while I pull mine up because I just finished right before we started.
Yeah, you should have waited to see your results before you talk.
No, I part of the test was I'm pretty open about my feelings.
Yeah,
I answered that.
Yeah, me too. Well, I mean, it doesn't really give us. It basically breaks it down into 4 personality types that it'll assign to you, and it offers like a square grid with colors and very nice decorations. They have directive driver, expressive communicator, reflective thinker, and supportive helper are the 4 that it places you into.
So think of 4 squares.
Yes.
And
I can actually turn my computer around.
give the audio people north, south, east, west for all of those.
Well, we're looking at directive drivers in the top left. It's a red square. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well,
describe this thing.
Well, there's more people listen on audio.
I know, but they can just kind of understand. Anyways, expressive communicators in the right. It's green. And reflective thinkers, yellow in the bottom left. Supportive helper, blue in the bottom right.
Did it talk about how you sing song? You just explain stuff.
So that was part of it. You didn't get a song question?
Oh, no.
To sing?
Go ahead.
But basically, it told me that I'm just a middleman. Like it has me labeled as an expressive communicator, but I'm like almost dead center in the whole thing, the whole grid, which I guess can be. They call it an adapter.
That's good. That's a good thing, I think.
I think so. I like me, but it's weird. I guess certain.
So you think you're going to plot somewhere? You're going to have a tendency somewhere,
Right?
and you see your plot as a negative because it's almost directly dead center.
Right. Well, it didn't tell me. Now I just have more questions about myself.
Well, yeah, but I think. I mean, if anything, I think it's a good thing that you are invested in trying to figure yourself out physically and mentally a lot. We talk a lot about that stuff off air and a little bit on air, but you're doing some of the outside the box wellness kind of things that seem physical to most people, but they're actually mental.
Oh, definitely.
You doing the ice bath thing, the Wim Hof breathing method of just shocking your body, doing something uncomfortable every day. People think that's a physical thing. I see it as a mental thing.
Oh yeah, it's way mental.
Because if everybody can kind of do it, it's not really that. It's not like it's an athletic thing.
I know. I try and tell people it's like anybody's trying. If my mom can do it, you can do it. Like,
Mom.
Well, I'm just saying she
Why you
hasn't
gotta
been
throw mom in
training
there?
to do an ice bath, and she's done it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know what this tells me about myself.
So I'm trying to find my results. How do I do this?
Oh, jeez.
I'm looking look, I'm right here, right?
All right.
This website, the Asher website, is not very friendly.
Great.
They need to update it. Call us.
Click on that one.
Asher.
If they don't call us, we're just going to bash you.
Yeah.
Basher.
Asher. And so take that.
That one, and then you got to pick a job, I think. No, wait. I'm sorry. Go to home.
Okay.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, so what do I click on to see it? This?
So the one on the far right is what I pulled up that has the chart.
Okay. And
I can't wait to find this. Serial killer you are.
I know. I'm probably like a sociopath. I'm an expressive communicator, it looks like.
Oh, me too.
I have high... Oh, this is so funny. So I was writing out our core values. So I was writing out a revamp of what we're doing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's our mission statement? This is a good time of year to do this. If you're running your own business or trying to get your own thing going, it's a good... There's going to be either you schedule it and you go once a month or once a quarter, I need to look at what we're doing goals-wise and rewrite the business plan. Or more of what we're kind of doing, because we're not so routine, is opportunities happen. Something came up for us, so it was an opportunity to go, okay, who are we? What do we do? Why are we better? What do we do the best?
Mm-hmm.
What do we want to do? What are our goals?
Plus,
All
at the
that
end
stuff.
of the year, people have time off usually because there's not a lot going on in between Christmas and New Year's. It's like
Yeah, we're
nothing
not.
gets done.
Well, we're not in that zone where people are trying to dump their marketing budgets into us.
Yeah.
Because that happens for a lot of agencies or firms. And so I literally on the board over there, you saw me write it up earlier.
Yeah, you'll just have to trust him.
Core values I put for us, and I put empathy and egos 1, 2.
Yeah.
Because we have empathy for a lot of small business owners, the clients that they have or customers they have, empathy for the vendors, the supply chain of whatever they're doing. And so, there's involvement of humans along the way. And I think that's ultimately our best kind of core value and you can work on it. People think it's innate. I think it's something you can really.
I think it's like an observational thing. If you just take the time to think about what's going on, you can step outside yourself and see how somebody else might be feeling. I mean, I think it's very easily teachable.
Yeah. I mean, and, don't confuse empathy with sympathy kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. It's not compassion.
Yeah.
It's walk a mile in that person's shoes a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think it's like analysis of what's going on. Like, what's their motivations to feel this way or whatever. Be more robotic about what's happening. Like,
what do you mean?
Analytic. Well, I mean, just don't take your own personal feelings about whatever you're trying to do, and then step out, look at it, and you can be more empathetic. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
No, because I just took a lot of the questions on this are like, are you a feelings experience-based person or are you analytical?
Yeah, I guess
research-based. So, like,
describe the test a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's 82 questions, and the beginning 10 before you get to those 82 are like, I don't know if those are part of the 82.
I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
It takes a person that can read quickly, only like 15 minutes. I don't read that quickly, and I'm tired, so things are like crossing. Literally, text was crossing over. Maybe I'm dyslexic.
That's.
But I'm saying
the first 10 questions were like a vocab quiz that I think some of the words were made up to test it, because it's not tell me what this word means. It's what is your familiarity with this word on a scale of 0 to 6.
Yeah.
Which I think is, how do you have a 3 knowledge of a word?
I had some 3s.
Well, yeah, I got to the point though where I was like, well, it's either a 0 or a 6.
Like one was succinct, and I was like, that's a 5.
I think I put 5 first.
Because I was like, I'm almost positive I know it, but I'm not 100%. So, there might be another way to use succinct. And then yes, that's what I meant. I don't know.
I put a 0. Fuck.
I put a 1 for familiarity.
I guess we did know the word. Damn it. I need to go back.
So
can I borrow $150?
So it's already Venmo'd to you, by the way, reimbursed. But what's it called? So I'm high ego, high empathy, which I would have thought anyway. Yep. I think there's more to the results that we haven't looked at yet, but
yeah. Well, the results, they also evaluate you for certain types of jobs: outside sales, long selling cycle. You got account manager. And it kind of rates you on your ability, I guess, or your individual ability to do it. I don't really know what you would call it.
Well, my knee-jerk reaction to this stuff is like, and I said it kind of flippantly before we were doing it. I was like, I don't like this because whoever you're kind of showing this to, sometimes they'll put you in that bucket forever a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's all, but this is a good test. This isn't like some Facebook quiz about what celebrity you're the nearest to, personality wise. You're Jennifer Lawrence. Did you know that? That's you. You're J-Law.
Lawrence Fishburne myself.
But so this is like Myers-Briggs sucks. I've heard the flaws in Myers-Briggs a lot.
I got the Wonderlic.
For most NFL players take that.
Yeah, but I think Wonderlic is like a brand that has other types. Because I've taken a Wonderlic for a job before, where they, so I think they do more than. It's probably similar to Asher.
I thought that's more of an IQ though, because this isn't IQ.
No, I know
at all. Actually, it's not supposed to be. So that's why the vocab throws you off.
Right.
It makes you kind of panic.
Right. And the weird thing that I was telling you about is that how often they repeat questions. Because there's like, you basically answer each question twice on how how you think the ideal candidate would answer, and then how your true self would answer.
Right. It's
so
like,
I think they're testing if you're consistent.
Well, there's
if you answer four times, is it
really? So I think there's that part, right?
Yeah.
They repeat questions and they switch up the toggle of the answers. So the next time around, they'll switch. It's 1 and 2. It'll be 2-1. But I think you have to answer for the candidate. It seems like what's the best human version?
Yeah. See, I was answering like if I was the boss.
Well, okay, so
I
that
want
shows,
a lemming.
so there's that too because it shows management style. So some bosses want like a call center kind of control, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to hear employees. They want them to get the work done. They don't want to hear about their problems, and that's the way they might take an answer to like, I like people who are more expressive and caring of other employees
Mm-hmm.
than reserved and like quiet or something like that. And so. And you have to choose the best one.
Yeah.
So one kind of talks shit about the other answer,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not absolute. And you're like, I guess I'm I felt like I was like Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand, like super capitalistic, picking all of my answers because I was like, yeah, the one about like luck, right?
Yeah. Like fate determines how your life is, or
it's like predestined, or you can't control anything. And I was like, in America, I feel like you can.
I definitely answered that question like 3 different ways.
Yeah,
I was like, well, this one's different now, but I think it might have been the exactly same worded question.
I think they changed the wording just a tiny bit too, and a couple of them.
Maybe
because it was like one was like, do you value the goals more?
Yeah.
And this is how people perceive your goals or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's a little messed up. But I could have just gotten confused. My ego drives 83. Empathy 71. I don't know what an OS.
See, that's what I was saying. The outside sales. That's basically.
Oh, is that what OS stands for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we should have figured this out before.
No,
But
I mean
it's
we're that's why podcasts are good because it's like we're going through it like anybody else.
Yeah.
Let's see, account manager. I'm an 85. Farmer. What do you have?
See, I'm like, it makes me feel like I can't do anything.
But this is all sales oriented.
That's true. Customer support is my highest score is at 52. Ego, drive, and empathy, I'm 51 on both of them. Right in that meaty middle.
That's not bad though. I think you can have too much. You can have too much of any of that. I think you might have a better. You being right in the middle feels like it's a fail for you, but I actually think that might be the best situation because you get too much empathy. You're not taking care of your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you get too much ego. You become delusional or you become like just an asshole.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that I think it's a failure. It's just like it's so vanilla and just not telling me much, I don't think. But I guess it is. I'm just looking at it the wrong way.
It's 82 questions.
I kind of wanted it to be like, you should be a professional airline pilot.
Well, yeah.
Bam.
That's go to a fortune teller for that. Like, they'll tell you whatever you want to hear kind of stuff.
I don't want to be an airline pilot. That would suck. I'm just saying.
Your ego would have to be crazy, and you'd have to have no empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Because airline pilots are like, that's like, I saw something that was like, the biggest alcoholics have that part.
Yeah.
Because they need the rush. And so, like, a lot of lawyers are this way, pilots, like
high leverage situations.
Work hard, play hard kind of
Yeah.
thing. And
Cops.
but they need a super amount of ego. I don't want my pilot to be soft in the ego department, right?
I don't know. I mean, aren't they mostly autopilot? Like, what does the pilot really do these days?
I don't know, but if shit goes down, I don't want them to be like, "Hey, what do you think?" Like, I want them to go.
Yeah, I guess.
I want them to make snap decisions based on experience.
Let's
like
talk this out first.
And empathy, they don't really care because they need a little bit, so they don't want people to die on the flight. But that's about all I want out of a pilot.
Yeah.
So that's where I think that might be.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think sociopathic would be like all the way up ego, zero empathy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like the definition.
Yeah.
Or they like physically can't feel empathy for other people.
Well, they just caught the serial killer that was terrorizing Tampa.
Congratulations.
Yeah, more importantly, my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And my wife and I were talking about it yesterday, and it's like, yeah, the dude's a sociopath. Like the story goes, so far, I don't know, allegedly, like he was at a McDonald's that's really close to our office, and where we're doing this right now, and he, I guess, used to work at that McDonald's, came in, was like, getting an old paycheck, had a gun in a brown bag, covered up, and handed it to the manager and was like, hold on to this, don't look in this. And then left.
Please.
To go to like Amscot or something like that. The like check cashing places. I don't know if they're everywhere in the United States, so I don't know if
I think they are.
I don't know if Amscot's well known.
Doesn't matter.
Western Union, whatever.
Sure.
And so he left to go do that, and then the
manager
of course yeah, because he was being dodgy, and there was a cop already in there eating, and they were like,
I mean, so have they talked to this guy since then? Have they gotten any sort
he's
of
been
motive?
arrested.
But I mean, like, have they revealed anything about what his motive and stuff?
Not that I know of, but I mean, we've been kind of mired in some work, so we haven't really checked the news too much. But one of our clients just wrote a little opinion. HillsboroughDefense.com. I'll throw a shout out for him, for Brett Metcalf, attorney. Power,
what up,
criminal attorney. You got to add power in front of it.
All our attorneys are power.
We're going to do the
attorneys.
Trump thing of like adding an adjective in front of people, but we're going to make good ones.
Yeah.
So not like crooked Hillary. We're going to say power,
right.
Attorney, Brett Metcalf. So I saw he had an opinion on that. I'm excited to see that. We've got a couple more minutes. Anything else on this test? I think it's interesting. If you can spare the $150 for your employees, or you need to see what kind of manager you are, I think this is really useful.
To do it one time for sure. At least if you're looking for direction in life, maybe you take this test and it gives you a little insight.
Well, we talk about a lot of our value here is talking to entrepreneurs because they have no one to talk to, in a way, like almost a vocational therapist. And I feel like you can get really mired in what you're doing, or just really put the blinders on.
Yeah.
Personality-wise. And it's like, I got the perfect example. It's like the guy that has all girlfriends.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any dude friends, like close guy friends that talk shit to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, and I'm not talking about the gay dude. I'm talking about like just, you have that one friend that basically has his best 3 friends are girls, and they don't talk shit to him. The good thing about guys is your guy friends will keep you in check.
Yeah.
Almost too much.
Yeah.
But like,
beat you down.
It keeps you like, hey, that mustache is stupid. You look like a pedophile. Like, shave that off. Mm-hmm. And then you get clowned and no more pedophile mustache.
And you're not a pedophile
right.
anymore.
So I always appreciated that out of my hater friends, but
I think it's one of those things that you can appreciate later when it's happening to you.
Not in the moment if you're getting chewed on.
Yeah.
But that's what for me, that's what kind of like my close guy friends are good for, because a lot of people won't say that stuff. They'll just go,
Yeah. And as your boy gets older,
yeah,
you'll see that importance even more, where it's like, oh, mama's gonna baby him a little bit. You gotta dad him up a little bit.
Yeah, that even plays even better for the profile that came out for you, is because that's where you want to be. You can't freak out too much, parenting the kids, or they'll develop a complex. Or if you're too laid back, no discipline, we know how that goes.
Yeah.
So it's good to be kind of like in that sweet spot.
Yeah. Well, I think it's different for boys and girls, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, genders aren't different. Did you know that?
Oh, my bad. Are we going to get sued now?
No, by who?
We have power attorneys.
By who? It's First Amendment.
By a bunch of men and women and others.
All right.
all the
we
genders.
we have to we got to shut it down now, man. We've got some.
I'm sorry, genders. Okay. I take it back.
You're sorry to all genders.
Sorry to every 91
Z's,
gender.
Z's.
Right. And we're out.
We're out, man.